Happy SEC breakaway, drafters. It's Dan, it's JP, and the SEC is being a whiny little punk about wanting to leave the NCAA again.
What did I miss?
The NCAA had SEC had the start of their meetings yesterday, I think it was, their fall meetings or something along those lines, and they're basically saying, no, it's totally legit that we might separate and try to break away and do our own thing because we're annoyed with the things that are happening. It's like, you sound like a psycho ex who's mad at her person or his person, and they're trying to, basically gaslight them into doing what they want to do. So it's the SEC being the SEC, and they probably have deluded themselves into thinking that they actually can exist on their own as a standalone entity that doesn't have to compete against anyone but the SEC because they believe they're the best. But it's continued pressure that they're trying to put on in the campaign to get their way. Not saying the Big Ten doesn't do the same thing when it comes to all of the different bits and pieces of getting football rules put in places in certain ways. So yeah, it's just I got a kick out of that and had to make a little mention of it on the front end. But right now it's just the commissioner blustering. Ooh. It's some of the coaches that definitely think it's a good idea that way, and then some of the other ones. You though seem like you have a different reaction to something right there. Is that a little beastly?
Oh damn. Everything it says that is in this beer, I can smell.
That's probably a good thing, right?
Dude, as soon as I open, that's not true. I don't smell the coffee or the lactose, but I'm here to tell you that like a vanilla, cinnamon, spicy, peppery vibe
smacks you.
I get to smell it.
I saw your face.
This is like a foot and a half away from. I can smell it actively as I've never smelled a beer like I smell this beer.
Potent.
And this is a 30-year maybe
anniversary
beer?
It's there. No, it's just Three Floyds has got the 30-year stamp on every beer this year.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah, that's just them. Right. That's their stamp they're putting on everything to remind everybody it's been around for 30 years.
Well, that's what I'm sipping there, buddy.
Just in case anybody wondered, we'll get your take on that.
Might as well try it.
Right?
Now.
We should take on that a little bit further on in there. But you just reminded me of that bit from Anchorman. It's like, I'm going to be honest, JP, that smells like pure gasoline.
Ooh.
Initial thoughts? Pleased? Confused?
I couldn't smell the lactose, but I can taste like the vanilla lactose and everything else in there. The coffee is non-existent.
Interesting.
It must just be
we'll
for
see
the color.
if it opens up or something in there and gives you something to work with along those lines.
Dude, it tastes like ice cream.
But that's not a bad start. Most people
spicy cinnamon ice cream.
Not usually the combination you get, I will admit, because that's one of those things like you see flavors in ice cream all over the place, right? But I don't know that I've seen like a spicy pepper ice cream.
Dude, there's a spot here. I haven't gone to it because you know me, I'm not a sweets guy. Right. But if I am, it is ice cream. But some people at work, because they know me and my level of spice that I truly enjoy.
Right.
Like today, for example, small tangent, and we're way off the rails. We're only 3 minutes.
That didn't take long.
Somebody was asking at work if we had any hot sauce for the break room. It's like, we order it. I can get some more ordered, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
It's like, just don't call it hot sauce. It's not hot sauce. Like, oh, yeah, you're weird. Like, you go for Tabasco. And I was like, huh? And they're like, yeah, like everybody else does red hot. You're the Tabasco guy because you like the hot stuff. I was like, Tabasco sauce is like ketchup too. That is not hot. And they're like, what? Right. What do you eat? Or what do you use? And I went way down the rabbit hole. I won't do that on here. I was like, yeah.
I've seen you have an entire like 10-inch circle of hot sauce.
Yeah, it's a little spinny. Yeah,
varying levels of death in a bottle.
Yeah, they're great, but it has to taste good.
Agreed.
Like, there have been some that I've bought that I'm like, because I was curious about them, and they just taste terrible. They're hot, but they taste terrible. I'm like, okay, do I dare see if anyone else wants to try this, or do I just throw it away? There's no point in me. I'm not going to torture. Like, I just accept the fact that I lost $12 or whatever it is.
Yep, that happens.
And yeah, some of those hot sauces are like $12 to $20 a bottle.
Right, because they are so intricate with how they go about their processes. But yeah, there's something to be said for a good hot sauce, and there's something to be said for something that just is a bunch of peppers in a bottle.
Got way off topic.
I know, I was waiting for you to come back.
Yeah, I came back. I just had to, do my rotation.
Right.
So they were talking, there's an ice cream place here in like the Lansing, East Lansing area, somewhere like that. They have a Carolina Reaper ice cream.
Oh, there you go then.
Nope. Ghost pepper ice cream.
Okay, right. Yeah, ghost pepper is
because
more
everybody's
of the
doing
thing.
ghost pepper everything these days. But I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, we figured it'd be right up your alley. He's like, no. You see, there's spice that's great for things, and ice cream and spice couldn't be any further apart.
Right. Yeah. So it's
not.
It's a novelty thing. Yeah. It's them trying to be cute with stuff. So that's interesting. We may have to get some of that to have you try on the show just to see your reaction to it.
See what I bring things up, and here we are. And speaking of the show,
And
you want me to explain what the hell
we
we're
just
doing
have
today?
you wash a super light beer down with it, with after your ice cream.
Oh,
Great.
what a day that would be.
It'd be terrible on so many levels. We'd have to finish with a steak and something else afterwards, some whiskey or whatever. But yeah, you came up with a fun plan, though, for this day. This is kind of a little audit check for us a little bit here.
It is, and I think I think I ran this by you. I'm not entirely sure, but I think what it should do is, how we do the whole every 3 years we revisit how we did.
Right, and we did that with this past draft.
And we did do it, so we're kind of doing it again, but a different twist. So let me know which way you think is better, because we maybe can continue to do both, or maybe this just replaces that one, but it very much feels like this is something that we could do every year now that we're 3 years in, and see, because it's only going to be here we are. It's the 2023 draft class. We're going to go position by position. Today's just offense. Next episode will be defense. But what it is for I typed up every single player in the class drafted. So
I appreciate that.
Quarterbacks, I don't know how 11, 12, however many there were. I got 3 columns: right, neutral, and wrong. Now, what we're doing is you're not going to go over every player. You're just going to talk about the players that you had conviction one way or the other for.
Right.
Like, you thought they were going to be really good, or you thought they were going to be really bad, and were you right or were you wrong? And if it was somebody who was just kind of irrelevant to you, or if it was a 7th round pick that you're like, whatever, I'm not going to be like, I knew Tanner McKee was going to be terrible. That's going to jack up my percent. Because the whole point of the show is for the players that you have strong opinions about for each position. What is your percentage of being right, at least for this draft class? And maybe we can average them all out over time and have an ongoing thing. That wouldn't be hard. Just have to build a couple different formulas. But what's inspired all this is me saying that I feel like I'm terrible with D linemen. Like, I feel really good about my draft analysis. I have the least amount of confidence with D linemen out of any position. So I don't. I haven't even gotten there. That'll be the next episode. So I look forward to seeing what that percentage is. But I have. The offensive one's a rough draft in, because there's going to be a little bit of debate to see, that'll be the dialogue on the show.
Right. Exactly.
Does that make sense? Did I explain that?
Yeah, no,
well?
it does. And I think it'll make more sense as we go through this for people, and they'll definitely catch on. But again, I think this is a great way for us to look at this. And I would love some of the other talking heads out there, some of the big guys, to actually go down and do their own little audit. Because, any of the big dogs that do this stuff, they'll always point out the people they got right. Maybe 1 or 2 that they missed. But for the most part, it's like, see, I was right on that guy. That's pretty much the only ones they want to talk about is who they were right on.
Yep.
And
not today.
Most of them miss all the time. So we like to try to be forthcoming and, take each other to town on this whole thing. So let's start off. You want to start off with quarterback then? Or do you want to go the other way around?
I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I personally like starting with quarterback, but how many people want us to end on O-line? But also maybe they can just tune out earlier.
Exactly. So yeah, let's start with the quarterbacks.
Let's start with quarterbacks, but I do want to say one more thing before we get going. We just started the show in 2023, and we did it right before the draft. So my board isn't nearly as detailed as every other board. So I'm going to feel I'm going to have the least amount of confidence in the percentages from this class in comparison to any of the other ones, because I've got notes for like every single thing of like how I felt about almost every player moving forward. Now, the one caveat that we didn't factor in, I don't know how you'd factor it in, is like your Ivan Pace Juniors, your undrafted guys that you were right about. Like,
we're not putting them
show up in.
No, we're not putting them on the record.
And that was a guy I really liked.
Well, we both really liked him. So yeah. We talk about he's almost like he's the new like Ivan Pace, honorary UDFA that we love way more than everybody else. It'd be almost be an award. We'll have to get one of these days. We'll have to get to him on.
We
to,
should
present it. It'd be great.
Yes.
But yeah, that's the thing. It's like there's always a guy, right, that does that. So I will tell you this much, though. I do want to keep things honest for people. 2022's draft was when we started. So you had a whole year. We just didn't have our boards really well thought out until after this 2023 draft.
No, we didn't start. Did we start in 2022?
Our first show was the 18th of April, 2022.
Was it really? So I don't have that board.
No, I don't have either. I don't have this board.
So I guess double correction. So I guess after a year and a half of the show is when my board, I have all the details.
Finally started taking shape. Exactly. That being said, we still know who was drafted. So
we do. So let's just start at the top. All right. So Bryce Young. Okay. Well, let me just say this. I didn't have a single quarterback in this class that I thought was going to be good.
Sure.
So that makes this position very easy for me. So in your opinion, is Bryce Young good or bad? Like, am I right or wrong?
Yes.
I thought they were all going to
be. I think Bryce Young qualifies as good, even if he's not great. I think both Bryce Young and the next one is CJ Stroud. I think both of them qualify as good. Now, it'll be interesting because this is the year, right? But and I'm 2 for 2, but it'll quickly go off the rails. Don't worry. But with those two guys, I feel like this is the year that we find out if they're worth $50 million a year or not. But they both proven so far that they're at least competent enough to play quarterback in the NFL. The only question is at what price tag, certainly on a rookie deal. The next one, though.
Well, I'm 0 for 2.
That's where I'm
right.
I had an L in this column. I think I wanted so badly for Anthony Richardson to work out that I just didn't care. I'm like, you know what? I like this. I like the story. I like the personality. I like everything about him except the fact that he hasn't started much. And then I personally believe the Colts ran him into the ground. I do not think the Colts did a very good job by him. I'm not saying he would have panned out otherwise, but it wasn't good. The whole play thing was ham-handed the whole way through. That being said, I'll still take an L on this one. That's definitely wrong.
So, I think quarterbacks are in order. Most of the positions are in order of how they were drafted, but man, defensively, when you get to the O-line, everywhere after that, it went off the rails because I used the draft history thing.
Oh, gotcha.
And some like Carl Brooks listed as an edge rusher. No.
Yeah. No.
Like a lot of the tackles listed as tackles still, like definitely guards now. So I moved stuff around and they're not in the exact order anymore. But anyways, so Anthony Richardson, I'm right then because I'm bad. Yeah. So Will Levis, I'm right.
We're both right on that one. Both of them thought he could be fun, but he wasn't ready.
And Hendon Hooker. I'm also right.
Neither of us were a fan of him, and really not a fan when Detroit took him, so yeah.
Nope. And then I'll just be honest, I'll let you chime in. Every other quarterback drafted, with the exception of one, and you can even go look at my sheet, because I remember doing this show now that I'm looking at this out loud, because I didn't know who to put as a bust, because I didn't think anybody was going to be good. So how could anybody be a bust? But you, sir, loved the idea of a late round flyer on Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Yeah, there were two guys. And DTR was one of them.
I put the B on him, so I'm going to say I was right about him. So that means I was right about 4, wrong about 2.
And I'm going to say I was wrong about him. And I'm also going to give myself a wrong on Stetson Bennett because I thought he had an opportunity.
You did like him.
I did like him. And you know what? I think he's going to end up
still
being
neutral.
That's what
for me.
I'm putting him in the wrong column for now. He could certainly work his way back to neutral if he continues to be a solid backup for the rest of his career, but it's pretty clear. And part of the reason why I was curious about him was because we all figured Matt Stafford's back was somehow going to give out by now, and that man's continuing to roll with it. So that being said, DTR would have loved the idea of him, but as soon as he got drafted by the Browns, I knew it was straight out the window.
Let me ask you a question. So Tanner McKee, I put a UDFA grade on him. I said I got it right here. He has no chance, shouldn't be drafted.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I said. Does that count as right then, or is it because?
Because he got drafted and he's still on a roster right now. He might not be on a roster after this preseason, but he still is. He's backed up Jalen Hurts for 2 seasons, even though I think it's the most hilarious thing to do. Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
No.
Most likely he's not going to be after this season, but he did for a couple of years, so he's not a complete and total wash, right? So,
but I'm just saying, was I right or no? So leave
No,
him in neutral?
I left him in neutral for me too, because I was
Okay.
not a fan of him at all, especially not when he
So
went to the Eagles.
what's your percentage then? I mean, this rounds up. I get it,
Yeah.
66.6, but I got it to.
Mhm.
I don't have decimals, so
I'm technically
67%.
Yeah, I'm on 57 because I had one more wrong than you. We both have 4 right, but I gave myself 3 wrong because AR and then Bennett and
Stetson.
DTR. Yep, Stetson let me down. Oh well.
So it'll be interesting to figure out, like, is that good or bad?
Well, and again, this is QB is going to be fun, right? Because this year was you didn't think anybody was going to be good. I felt all right about 2 of them. The next season is when we got the 6-pack, which has looked like it's a mixed bag so far. So we'll have some fun with that. But the other 2 seasons, 25 and 26, weren't exactly crazy good quarterback years. There were some bright spots, but for the most part, quarterback's going to be one of those that's going to be interesting to see the percentages because there's only 10 to 12 get drafted each time.
I will say this though as well. Yes, I did change it and said that none of them are going to be good, and I've pretty much felt that way the whole time. But I will be honest and say that for probably 95% of the time, I did feel strongly that CJ Stroud was the best one of the group until I saw that Wonderlic thing and I panicked, and then I was just like, to hell with it. We can put Richardson there, and I thought I switched him back, but my board still has Richardson at 1, Stroud at 2. But either way, it's irrelevant because I didn't think any of them were going to be good.
Right.
So
it was a rough
my
all the way around,
percentage
which
still stays the same.
Probably one of the reasons why I thought DTR is worth a late round flyer because nobody was going to do much. We'll see. All right, let's move on to running backs now. And this one's got a little bit more nuance to it because we obviously have more bodies too.
Just for fun, and I won't do this in every position. I was just looking at my board here. You know who else that I had ranked that was a UDFA that I actually had like a little star by that said I was interested?
Who's that?
Bajent, the Shepherd Rams.
Oh, yeah. He's a fun
Tyson
story.
Bajent.
Look, he's still a backup.
That's the only reason why.
He's still a backup.
Technically he is.
There are people who like him as that type of a piece, and he's a guy who could easily get a second contract as a backup in the NFL. He feels like a dude who can have at least a decade-long career of holding a clipboard if he wants to.
You know what's interesting at running back? I went into this one hard of how many are drafted. And
there's what, 20? No, 17, 18?
18. 18 were drafted. I only have 5 in the neutral column. So based on my board and my notes, I felt, I apparently went hard at year 1 of running backs.
Okay.
So we'll see how it worked out for me. But all right, it's pretty easy at the top. We liked Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs. So we were right?
Right.
I'm assuming you liked. I'm pretty sure because everybody liked him. I had Charbonnet as right for me. I would still. Would you agree with that?
Okay. Yeah, we're both in the boat on that one.
100% have it wrong. I have it
wrong.
In Miller for sure. So now here's my question for you. I honestly don't know. What is Tajay Spears?
I had Spears in a neutral for me because I didn't expect him to be awesome, and he hasn't been. But he hasn't. It's not been. But I can't put him in a right because he still has contributed. So
I said I absolutely loved him in college. I have him as my 5th running back, and I have a my guy tag on him.
Okay.
But I also said that he's going to be awesome. Well, he's going to be good in a 2-back system to be like that, that juice guy. You know what I mean? So, and he's shown a lot of flashes of that, and he's still getting playing time. So I don't know. What do you think's fair? Is that a right or a wrong for me? I had strong feelings about him, so I have to. He either's right or wrong. I can't put him in neutral for me.
I think I'm doing right now. I'm taking another look at his. Of course, I spelled his name wrong, so that's going to be a little bit longer. But
TYJ.
Yeah, I put the A in there instead of just the Y. So I'm looking at his. The dude's had 1,000 yards over 3 years. And he's
but in his passing, how's he done there too? Because I thought he was more the dual threat.
Well, right, and he's caught the ball. Like he's caught 52, which is 30, where I thought 45 catches. So,
which is what I liked him for, is being RB2 in a 2-back system.
And not a lot of yardage necessarily on all that, but he has. He's good. I'm fine. Like I've got him in the neutral section. And I think I'm fine with that. I think you're pressing a bit to say that you got him right at this point, but at the same
No,
time,
I don't know. I
don't know
don't
if you
have
say
it
you got him
anywhere.
wrong. That's the problem. He's in a weird spot. Put him off to the side for now. He is.
Yeah, I mean, so I should just put him in my neutral.
Put him also in a special category because remember I mentioned this before we started the show. We're gonna do a little boom bust at the end for all the guys we're on the fence about. So start like kind of getting an idea in your head the guys we're on the fence about. Is this the year where they boom, where they bust? Because now this is the end of a lot of these guys' rookie contracts. Aside from first rounders,
Right.
These guys got to shut up this year. And Tajay Spears is one of those guys that's going to determine
I
whether he
still
gets a
like
multi-year
Tajay
deal. Well, again, this year
He's not, because they went and
Is
got
he gonna get a 1 year?
Singleton. You still
Right.
got Pollard. They might bring him back on like a 1 year. We'll
That's
see.
my point. He's going to no running back wants
So-
to do 1 year deals after their first
But
contract.
if they bring him back in any fashion, does that mean I was right?
I'll give it to you. If he comes back anything more than like the league minimum, I'll give it to you. But for right now,
I got a perfect idea.
what do you got?
I'm going to put it in the right column, but instead
Uh-huh.
of putting a 1 to where it adds it up, I'm going to put a 0.5.
All right, fine. I'm good with that. I'll give you half a point on that.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, this is fun now. But
All right.
my
Well, now we're
next
getting
guy,
into all kinds of nuance.
I got a full wrong on this one, which
We
I'm
both
assuming
did.
you got right. Oh, you hated him too?
No,
couldn't
I did
remember.
not hate him. I really liked the idea of him, and I also thought he was going to get obliterated within like 2 weeks.
That's why I hated him. I was
Yeah,
like,
see, I
he's
liked
awesome
him.
as a college player. I was like,
Right.
I don't think he can stay on the field at the pros. He's going
If
to
you
get
remember-
hurt. So
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
I took
about
him as a
A-Chain.
rookie. Devon A-Chain's the guy. I took him as a rookie because I loved the idea of him in fantasy, and then I chose not to keep him because I was terrified he was going to get hurt. And so far, he hasn't, and proud of him for that because that's awesome for him.
That's
But he
what I'm
has
saying.
to go down
I
as a miss
gotta-
for both of us.
Yep. What did
So
I
that's
got to
2
take
whiffs
Bigsby
so
as a
far.
neutral for me? I didn't feel strongly one way or like I had him as
I
RB
had-
15.
I
He's
didn't
just
like Tank, and so I gave myself a win because he's already been traded. I'm okay if you give yourself a win for that too, because I didn't like Tank. I didn't think he was going to be all that great, and he got traded already. So that counts for me as the team that picked you didn't want you. So,
But if
okay
I'm going by
putting him in a win
if
column.
if I'm going by my thing though, it's like I'm only trying to do the players that I felt strongly about, and he was just like, meh. Yeah, I had him all the way down as RB 15, and only 18 were drafted. So I get you could call that a win, but I just didn't feel he was at 15 just because. It wasn't because I thought he was going to be bad or good. You know what I mean?
That's fine.
So I think I'm going to leave him in neutral. I'll save
Okay.
I'll save my you'll be fine with it if there's somebody that like I would rather say Tajay Spears is right than Bigsby.
Then Bigsby, yeah,
for
sure,
me, but
I'll
I'm
give
going
you
to
that.
leave it as a half.
Sure.
This is an interesting one. So Roshan Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
you tell me. He wasn't a my guy for me. He wasn't a bust. I was a little biased because I like Texas, but
Right.
I had him all the way down as RB8. So I don't know. Does that mean I'm right or wrong?
Well, I'll tell you what. I put him in the right column
'Cause-
for me because I didn't think he was going to be all that good, and so far he hasn't been.
I
He's
see.
still
I'm
playing
putting
for Chicago, but
I'm-
he's not been doing
I've-
much.
I'm leaning towards putting him in my wrong column.
I'm fine with that.
But I didn't like feel great about it. So here's the problem. I'm sitting here looking at my board, and I had Roshan Johnson at 8,
Mhm.
but I had Chase Brown at 10, who I liked a lot
Right.
because I like Chase and Sidney Brown. So foreshadowing, I'm
Right.
getting Sidney wrong, but
Also
Chase
true.
Brown has to be a right for me.
Yeah.
But how could I have somebody at 10 that counts as a right and someone at 8 that's neutral? I don't like that was where I was kind of stuck.
Well, some of it comes
But
down
I
to
guess-
where you thought a guy would end up. Like Chase Brown, both of us, like I've got him as a right as well as we get to that point.
Okay.
Because
Well, I'm going to put Roshan as neutral because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't feel strongly, but I just had him ranked higher.
right.
Barely.
Yeah, Chase Brown was a guy that I think we both liked, and obviously it worked out better than I think either of us even necessarily expected. So that's good for him, but I still think it counts as a win for us. In between those two, those Israel Abanikanda, who we both thought was a fun idea, but I put him in the right column because I also didn't think he would amount to a thing, and so far he hasn't.
See, and I thought he was a fun idea that I was excited about, like as a late round flyer-ish, but I got him in like the neutral column because I was like, it could be fun, but I don't expect him to do anything.
Right. Well, and that's why I put him in the win column, because I knew he wouldn't do anything, and he hasn't. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with the win versus neutral stuff. If I didn't have a strong opinion on a guy, I put it neutral, right? If he didn't do anything.
Right. That's what I'm trying to do.
If I didn't have a strong opinion on a guy and he blew up, that's a loss, because I should have had a strong opinion of him, right? But on the guys who didn't, then
okay. Well, that'll be interesting, because that might change one of mine later. So well, the next one I had Chase Brown. We already said that's a right for both of us, right? Eric Gray's kind of the exact same thing for me as Roshan Johnson and Israel Abanikanda. So
okay, well, I've got him in the neutral because I didn't care one way or the other.
That's what I'm saying. I think I should move him to the neutral. I'm like, I'm interested, but I don't really care. You know what I mean? Evan Hull, I put is a right for me, because you have him as wrong.
He's wrong for me. I liked him.
Yes.
I really liked the idea. I thought he was going to be a great third down back, and so far he has been barely on the field.
I have him as a UDFA, and the only reason that I put him as right is because I knew that it's the same thing as the DTR. I was like, no, Dan, this guy's going to be a bust.
Nah, I really thought he could be a guy who would just, get out there and be able to make some catches for him. And he didn't. He barely touched the field for the. And again, I knew he was going to be the backup in Indy anyways, because they had Taylor. But still, teams need more than one running back, and apparently it was not Evan Hull for those guys.
So here is the interesting one. You said if they were good and you didn't call it, then you counted it as a wrong. So what did you do with Chris Rodriguez? Because I had him as neutral. I didn't have feelings one way or the other. But
well, and here's the thing: I have him as neutral as well, because you have to sit back and say.
He wasn't awesome by any means.
That's my point. He's had 900 yards in 3 seasons. He has caught 6 passes in 3 seasons. So he had the opportunity to be something crazy, and it never quite worked out with Washington. So he's got another opportunity again in Jacksonville. We'll see. Maybe he's a guy
he's hurt right now too.
Right. Maybe he's a guy who hits the boom button, but he feels like he had a cute little run, as running backs do, and then we call it good.
So Zach Evans for me was a neutral. I barely remembered him.
Yeah.
Did you have him as neutral?
Same.
Dwayne McBride is a big fat wrong for me.
He's a loss for both of us. We were both thinking he could be a sledgehammer for somebody.
I have him as RB6.
I liked him. You really liked him. And we both thought that guy, oh man, he didn't do anything.
No, he was a UDFA for Minnesota is what I thought.
No, he was a 7th rounder.
Didn't even think he...
Yeah, he was a 7th
No,
rounder.
I said what I thought. I didn't think he got drafted. I thought Minnesota killed it on the UDFAs with Ivan Pace, Dwayne McBride.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got drafted.
So, he did not even make it out of camp, is the point. And yes, he's a 7th rounder, so sure, those guys don't always make it out of camp, but I really thought he would. Shame.
CMU. I have Lou Nichols as neutral, even though I'm biased. I didn't feel
Fire down. I've still got him as a neutral, but we both wanted him to work out, but we kind of didn't think he would. No. And that's what it was. Same thing with Kenny McIntosh. Another guy that didn't do much with.
Yeah, but guess who's got a B on my board?
Uh-oh.
Remember, I told you how much I hated him, and people were hyping him up. I was like, dude, I can't. No, yeah. That's a right for me, 100%. He was because it looks like we were doing. Well, we had no rules because I had 3 my guys and 2 busts, and my 2 busts
that was just open.
I split. I had A-Chain and McIntosh as my bus. Whoops.
I mean, well, hey, half and half, right? So overall, though, I can tell you this much: I was at 57% with quarterbacks. I'm at 64 on running backs, slightly better.
Well, I
still not
pretty
great.
much. I was 67 for quarterbacks and running backs. I'm at 68.
Okay, so far you are ahead on both of these, which shouldn't be surprising. If you should win these, by the way. I'm trying to set the narrative right now. And you know what? Let's do wide receivers, and then we'll come back for the last 3 sections.
Yeah, I agree. Boys. Do the skills and then do the big fellas.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, we'll go a little quicker with these because some of them are easier. But dude, I had a lot of neutral vibes. You know what I mean?
Didn't. I had over half of these that weren't neutral.
I have 17 neutrals.
I had 14 neutrals, so we're close.
Oh, okay. So the Ninja, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Quentin Johnson, Zay Flowers. Those are all wins.
All wins. And again, the only question we had was could Ninja stay healthy? But we all figured he would eventually get that taken care of. That being said, didn't have him pegged for best receiver in the league last year. So good for him on that.
I actually
thought he was going to be very good, but good for him on that.
I had him as wide receiver 3 in this class.
Yeah, I had him in the same ballpark.
So,
I don't remember exactly where I had him.
And yeah,
I know you had Zay was your boy.
Zay and Rashi were my top 2. And
Yep.
I think I remember saying this on here. If Smith and Jigba didn't miss so much time,
Right,
he had
would've
a
been up
shot
there.
to be my number 1.
We talked about
But I
that
was
quite
nervous
a bit
'cause
throughout the year.
But yeah, so those 3 are wins. I have Addison as a loss for me. It's probably a win for
But
you.
it's a dub. Yeah, I did. I liked Addison more than you. There's no doubt about that. Of course, I give it right back on the next one. Because Jonathan Mingo, I felt good about him. He was a big body guy. He was going to get some possession, do some cool stuff. He's already been traded.
I have him in the neutral column. I was like, I like that he's got big hands, but that was about it.
Yeah, well, apparently he's hoping those big hands work out in Dallas. Everything's bigger there anyway.
Jaden Reed, the MSU guy, I also had in the
He's a neutral for me. Yeah.
Yeah. But, so Raji Rice is obviously a win.
Yeah, I'm giving myself a win, too, because I sort of rode your coattails on that. Now, that being said, Rashi Rice could be an L by the end of the season, because who knows with that guy right now. Dude, right. I'm telling you, again, if anyone from the Kansas City organization listens to this show, get that man some friends that are on your payroll who will have his best interests at heart. Because it's pretty clear he's still figuring out how to adult. And that's not great when there's millions of dollars in playing time at stake. That's all I'm saying. But when he's on the field, yeah, you were right on the talent, man. You had the talent piece locked in for Rashi. The personality still needs some work. There's no doubt about that.
So I want to hear your take on Marvin Mims first before I tell you what I did.
Marvin Mims, I put in the neutral category. Is he good or bad? I may be a cop out, but I put him in the neutral category because I didn't have like I think we both kind of thought. I certainly thought he was undersized, speedster kind of guy who could maybe be a possession receiver, but not a guy I felt was going to be a guy who took over the game. So far, he's had 98 catches, 1,200 yards over 3 seasons. That kind of fits what I thought he would be, but I also didn't feel strongly about it one way or the other, so I just got him neutral.
So I agree with everything you said. The only problem is I had him as an early day 3 guy at best, and then he goes in the second round, and I was like, no, he's not going to. So is this a 0.5er in the right, or is this count as right? Because I was like, I was completely out on him where he went. I didn't have a strong feeling about Marvin Mims until he got drafted where he got drafted, and I was like, "Oh golly!"
No, sure, no, and I felt the same way when that happened. There's definitely guys to that. So I guess that
Eileen, it's right.
If we need, so we need to establish something right now, kind of house rules, when you're playing games, it's kind of thing. So if we think a guy gets overdrafted and we're right that he was taken too early because he didn't pan out,
I think you have to count that as a right. In the capital.
So then in that case, I will give myself a dub for this one as well because both of us thought he could be a fun guy, but not where he got drafted. Now that is good that I have that dub because I've got back-to-back L's here with Tank Dell and Jalen Hyatt.
Oh, dude,
back-to-back L's.
That's funny.
I didn't think Dell was going to be any good, and he has been. I thought Hyatt was going to be good, and then that was when I began to understand that you can't trust Tennessee wide receivers.
You think Tank Dell's been good?
He hasn't been a bust. No, seriously, he has not. Yes, he was hurt last year, but he almost got 100 catches the 2 years he did play and 1,300 yards. That's not a bust. He's just not.
I don't know how he even touches the field anymore in that wide receiver room.
I'm not saying he should or shouldn't, but so far, yes, he had the year he was hurt, but the 2 years he did actually play, and he didn't even start both of those seasons, and he had 47 and 51 catches. That's not a bust.
Then I guess I got to put that as a wrong for me because I thought he was a bust, and I still think he's a bust. I think he only put up the stats because I didn't have anybody else. Well, look, I think he's gotten hurt all the time, and I don't think he's even going to be a part of the plans.
Sure. Well, that's the thing. So put him in that boomer bust thing that we're going to do at the end as well.
I'm going to can this be so? Are you saying so? If I thought he was not going to be relevant, then that's wrong. But I'm going to count this as a 0.5 wrong because I think he is.
Okay.
Bad.
Well, I'm counting on Tajay Spears is on the list right now. Tank Dell's on the list of those guys that we're going to have a discussion about afterwards. Jalen Hyatt, again,
I'm right.
I thought he had more. Right, I thought he had more than one route he could run. Apparently not. So, oh well. He might be an okay complimentary piece, but he just hasn't really had a good start to his career.
Cedric Tillman, I was right. You guys made a glass.
We're both right. Yep, we're both right on him.
I got 2 wrong in a row, and you got one of these 2 wrong and 1 right. I'm sure.
But I got one right.
But
I'm good. I'll take Josh Downs, baby. Huge
I
fan.
got Josh Downs wrong and Michael Wilson wrong, because Michael Wilson I also said was made of glass. He's not.
We both thought he was not like athletic enough and not going to stay healthy enough, and he has had a very solid run so far. He is best suited as a complimentary receiver, and that's what he's got now with Harrison there in Arizona. So that worked out for him. It's good for him. Bad for us.
I've got a stretch of 6 that I'm all neutral on. If you agree, then we can rip
5 of those 6. Go ahead.
Oh, it's Trey Tucker, Darius Davis, Charlie Jones, Tyler Scott, Justin Shorter, and Dontavian Wicks. If I had, I thought Charlie Jones was fun, but I didn't feel. I don't know. Thought he was just fun. Like where he was drafted, I thought it was an awesome shot.
Right. I gave myself an L for Wicks because I didn't think he was going to be any good, and he's at least contributed. I mean, yes, he did get traded, but I feel like he's
even
been
on my
enough.
radar.
Right. Well, and that's why you have him be neutral. I thought he wasn't going to be any good, and he has been at least decent. So I had to give myself an L for that.
Puka. We both were right. We never saw him being what he is, though.
No, if I would have seen that, I wouldn't have cut him right before the season started, right before Cooper Kupp got hurt.
I still spent my entire $100 fab budget on him as soon as you did that.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Dan.
Well, yeah, because that was right afterward. Yeah, stupid.
Yep.
I'm going to take an L for Parker Washington as well.
See, and Parker Washington and Kayshon Boutte, both of them, I didn't have any strong convictions either way, so I've got them both in the neutral.
And we'll see. I gave myself a win for Boutte because I thought he was actually going to do some things, and that's about what he's done is some things. And then Parker Washington, I didn't think was going to do anything, and he didn't until this past year when he really started catching on fire. So I'm very proud of him for getting there, just not proud of what he did to my numbers.
I get that. Now, I did give myself a win. Tell me if it's fair for Trey Palmer.
I was neutral on Trey Palmer, but why do you think you have a win for him? I'm okay with that.
Just because he hasn't done a ton, but he was also stuck behind Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and trying to work his way in, and he still flashed and contributed at times. And now Evans is out. Yeah, Godwin's still there. I know they got to put him who's infinitely better, but I think that I don't know. It could be like a 0.5 win. I don't know.
I'll give you a half a win for that, but because I've got him in the neutral, and he's going to go in that same category of the boom or bust guy because he has a pathway to boom. We'll see whether or not he will. That'll be a good question.
Now, A.T. Perry, I'm wrong on.
We both whiffed there. If you could have a 2, you'd have a 2 here. It's just more heavily weighted because you're a huge fan of him, and we were both a huge fan when he got drafted in the 5th round. We're like, this is awesome. Apparently, the Saints did not agree with us. Xavier Hutchinson, I put him as a neutral.
I had him as my wide receiver 6, and I don't think he's been awful, so I don't know what to put him as. Is he a 0.5 too?
I don't know.
I'm going to put him as 0.5.
0.5 which way?
I think 0.5 for the right because he's flashed and he's on the team.
55 catches for 635 yards over 3 seasons.
I know. It's the most crowded damn wide receiver room in the league probably now, too.
Yeah, well, this past year was his best year. We had 35 for 428, so...
I know.
Guess who else is going in the boomer bust category?
Yeah, he should. And I can't wait to hear what you tell me I got to do with this Yoshi Voss.
I know, I got a dub. I got a dub there. I will take that one. I liked it.
Well, here's the thing. I got him in the win column, too, but... because I liked him as well, but then I saw that he had the baby hands, and I was like, oh, because him and Quentin Johnston in the same draft, I was like, oh, no. So, I liked him, but then I was infinitely, more scared after that. So,
fair.
Now what?
Well, look, for a guy who's had 84 catches and 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns, that's a win for me, thinking he was going to do something as a day 3 guy. And that's really what it comes down to. For me.
I would have pegged him for doing about that. So I guess I'll leave him. I'll leave them there. But I'll tell you what, the whole rest of the draft class, I was neutral on everybody. Demario Douglas, Antoine Green. Well, in Green, I almost gave myself a right on because of how upset I was when Detroit drafted him. But it was a late round pick, so I guess I couldn't get to it. Cotton Dowell, Jalen Brooks, Ronnie Bell, Grant Dubose. I was neutral on all of those guys.
I was not neutral. I did not really think Demario Douglas was going to be all that good, and he has played incredibly well, so I got to give myself an L for that one, too. Super annoying.
All right, well, what's your final percent?
11, 4, 13 neutral, 8 wrong. I got a 58.
This is hilarious. I went quarterback 67, running back 68, wide receiver 69. Dare I say tight end will be 70, to be determined.
We'll find out. Before we get to tight end, let's have a quick little chit-chat about the beer that has been doing your head in through this whole show so far.
Oh, boy. So it's Three Floyds, obviously. It's the Black Colossus, okay?
That's a great name.
It is. But, man, their art, this is always when I feel like I sound like a complete moron because between their crazy busy labels and then with the artwork and the font,
there's a lot going on.
So hard to like read it, but it's a barrel-aged Imperial Stout with Pasilla. I don't even know what that is. It's a type of pepper, which is crazy because you'd think I would know.
Right.
And ancho peppers, or not an ancho. I don't know how people say it. Ancho or ancho.
Some say ancho or ancho. They say either way because Americans.
Vanilla, cocoa, cinnamon, coffee, lactose. Now, I already said, I could smell vanilla, peppers, cinnamon, everything from a foot away from this. I taste all of that, including the lactose. Just like I said, coffee is the only thing. I'm only halfway through it. I still don't get it. But, dude, this is a very, very good beer. Like, it's got all that stuff in it.
Because the balance is usually the challenge there.
Yeah. And I'm here to tell you that I know a lot of this is artificially flavored, which I almost always hate, but they balanced it pretty damn well. Okay. And the cocoa comes through very well of like that to make it like that bitter chocolatey like vibe and just mellows a lot of the other stuff out. And you're just touching on a little bit of everything. This is a 14.1% alcohol, and I'm telling you, you had me guess. I would say it was half that.
That's impressive and disturbing.
Based on how it tastes.
That's a fun night for you ahead. Here's what I'll tell you about the Pasilla chili. That's how you say it, the Pasilla chili, or Chile Negro. Dried form of the Chiaca chili pepper, a long, narrow member of the species Capsicum annum. Dark, wrinkled skin, mild to hot, but by mild to hot, like, look, when you look on the Scovilles, it's 1,000 to 4,000. So this is a baby games pepper. No, but it is used, it looks like it's used in a sauce. Like, they like to do it, like the people who use it like to do it in sauces with fruits, apparently with duck, stuff like that. Pasilla de Oaxaca, which sounds amazing, is a variety of smoked pasilla chili from Oaxaca used in mole negro. So all I'm telling you is I like the choices they made because this seems like a pepper that we need to spend more time with. Not necessarily in beer form, but food form.
I'll grade this thing at the end. That's how I'll end the show. But I'm telling you, its floor is a 3.75.
That's impressive. I have one that's not quite at the same level. But I tell you what, can art, man, check this can art. That is an elephant. Cool. Exactly. This is the elegant elephant.
While we're showing off can art, you can't even
I pulled
see
that
mine.
No, I pulled that up on the
holographic
website.
and crazy.
But this is like elegant elephant. This is riding like some serious, almost Hindu vibes coming in here. Love it. So this is from City Built Brewing, which is here in Grand Rapids. It's one of the breweries that I always think about, but don't usually grab a beer from. Don't ask me why. There's no reason for it. They do some really good work. But this one in particular is a double dry hopped New England double IPA. It's an 8%er. Galaxy, Nelson, Citra, Cryo, Sabro, and Simcoe hops. So they basically just said, let's do a little hop buffet going on in this thing. And here's what I will tell you. It fits exactly what it says it is.
Because we got two of those today then, huh?
Right, exactly. Because the New England IPAs are the hazy ones, right? You can tell just by looking at it. This is in the hazy category. But the doubles usually tend to walk the line between the sweet bitterness of the double IPAs and then the haziness. But the dry hopping also adds an element to that, and it hits all those notes really well. It's still a very standard, like, double dry hop, double IPA, right? But it's very good. This is like a 3.5. Like, it's not amazing, but it's very good. I will try to find another one for you at some point. You did win today.
I'm not going to go and look at it until the end, until I say what my grade's going to be. But I also think, though, I think I'm going to grade this very highly.
And the consensus is over.
But
a 4,
I think the
though.
consensus is still going to be
probably a 4.25 or something.
I think it's going to be in that ballpark.
With the pepper, it could be different because some people tend to not be able to handle that. I don't know. It depends on how spicy that thing actually comes across. I don't know. That's interesting. I don't have a whole lot else to talk about right now, but I did come up with, and I will have it, in the future. I did do a little road trip down to Nashville and back while I was doing some work, and I found some beer in Louisville. Well, I was trying to find bourbon for you boys, which was just a bust for the most part. But I found some beer in Louisville from all over the place. I've got a North Carolina beer in there. I got some Kentucky beers. I've got some Tennessee beers. And I did do... Ooh, wait a minute. I forgot. I did do a little flight when I was down. So we got done with this event that I put it this way. I slept 8 hours in 3 days. So by Sunday afternoon, I was feeling a little bit like loopy in the best possible way, right? And so I actually did check into 3 of the 4 beers. I missed one of them was just the lager from the place and like the Foundry. So I was like, all right, we tried that one out. Foundry Fieldhouse, which is where we were watching the World Cup final, which was a great time watching a bunch of Argentina fans get very sad. Very much enjoyed that. Respect Messi, just didn't respect the way Argentina was playing. Again, people talk, I do not have, maybe you can help me with this. I do not have context for something comparative for that game. Spain outshot Argentina 20-2.
I'd have a hard time giving you a specific example.
Like I'm trying to maybe a hockey game where there's been a huge lopsided.
I've seen some hockey games that are just like that.
That level of domination though is insane. Like because even in a hockey game, it's usually 2-1, not 10-1 with the shooting. Right. It's crazy. But yeah, so I did have 3 that I'll talk about real quick. Bear Walker has from Jackalope Brewing. It's a brown ale, and it was a 3. It was good. It was a very solid brown ale. Nothing necessarily crazy to write home about, but it did a good job of being a solid brown ale, and the name Bear Walker is spectacular. So points to them for that. And these are all Tennessee beers, by the way. Tennessee Brew Works did Hippies and Cowboys, which was an American IPA. You would have appreciated it just for the logo that they have on it, and what I see on Untapped, not obviously on what they had on the taps. But again, this was an American IPA. Again, solid standard. These were solid standard beers. The best one, though, I did have one from Fat Bottom Brewing, which, again, fun name for a brewery, called Teddy Loves IPA. And because I'd been doing some Teddy Roosevelt stuff recently, I was hoping that that's what it was referencing. It isn't, but that's fine. But it was another American IPA, but it definitely had a little more of the haze about it. And that was a 7.4. And, I mean, I gave it a 3.5. And the rest of the world gave it a 3.75. So very solid for an American IPA, which tends to not have quite as high of a ceiling for me. Like when you look at the IPAs, like the IPA
unless
types,
it's
the Americans are fine.
By Shorts.
Fair. Like that Superfluid breaks that mold. Like West Coast is at the bottom of the IPA list, right? When it comes to the benchmark of where I usually expect them to end up. So I'm pleasantly surprised when a West Coast is good, but American is like next in the tier, and that's when they start getting into the hazies, etc. So, but it was good. I definitely would have it again if I could find it. Of course, it's in Tennessee, so we'll see there. My point is, Tennessee's got some decent beer. I don't think it's Michigan level beer. They got some decent beer down there.
I don't disagree.
There you go. Let's jump into the tight ends. Should be able to rip through these guys relatively quickly.
So the top 2, this will be super. Top 2, Kincaid and Laporte are both wins, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
My question is,
Mayer
what
is
is
a win too?
Mayer's a win?
Yeah, I personally believe he's a win. He's only had 83 catches through the 3 seasons, but it's not his fault that they drafted Brock Bowers.
Correct.
Like they want him on the team. They want him on the field. He's been on the field. He's been contributing. So I still think he counts as a win. Even if somebody may have thought he should have contributed more by now, I don't think that that's a fair comparison. If he wouldn't have had Bowers on the team last year and he only posted the 30 some odd catches that he had 35 catches last year. If he wouldn't have had Brock on the team and only posted 35 catches, I may have a different conversation. But he is clearly the tight end 2 on that team. Yeah. And they have the best tight end room in the business.
Yes. Yeah. I put Musgraves as a win for me, too, because I had a bust on him.
No, he was a loss for me because I thought he was going to be a fun, receiving guy. Did not happen at all.
You know who else I have as a win for me? Luke Schoonmaker, because this is when I was still on my tear of dissing on some Michigan player. I had him as tight end 11. There's barely 11 tight ends drafted.
Sure. Wait, so you have him as a win, though?
Yeah, because I didn't think he was going to be good at all, and he hasn't.
Oh, Yeah, I got him as
Granted, most of
neutral
it's
because I didn't care either way.
I also had Brenton Strange as a win because
I got him as a loss.
That guy. I had him as tight end 5.
Yeah, I liked him. I like him as
Loved
much as
him.
you did. I got Tucker
my
Crafts as a win, though.
I do too. He's my tight end 3.
I know you don't want to be happy.
Remember when we were talking about it and like, dude, so excited when Green Bay really needed a tight end and they drafted Musgraves and he sucked,
Right.
and then they turned around and drafted Tucker Kraft afterwards. So I went from happy to going, somebody's smart in that room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
Darnell
also
Washington.
I still count him as a win. There's no
I
way
got him
I
as
had
an
him as
L.
a bust. I got him as a bust. He hasn't done anything other than somehow get paid.
Right, but that's my point. Because he got paid, I'm putting him down as an L.
No, I refuse.
He's still on a team. He got a second contract.
Nope. I can't count it as a wrong because Pittsburgh's stupid.
Well, but as far as this is,
No.
I think I'm counting as I'm being more honest than you are.
No, you're not. I refuse. You know what? I'll put a 0.5 in there. I'll meet you halfway. I refuse to count that as a wrong because I
am
still swear I'm right.
accepting. I'm accepting that somehow that fat man has gotten paid, and I'm proud of him for it.
Here's the crazy thing. Beyond that,
I have one.
I'm neutral on everything.
I thought Payne Durham was going to be fun. Payne Durham has barely been around.
Yep.
So again, some of the my misses are going to be guys that
who's the highest rated
some flyers, but yeah,
my
Payne
next
Durham's
highest ranked guy in that group was Will Mallory from Miami.
Sure. Yeah, I had neutral on everybody else besides Durham. So I ended up at a flat 50 on this one, dude. 4, 8, and 4.
Are you ready for this?
Oh yeah, you 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a jerk.
It can't be though because if I do a 0.5, that means I got to split the difference. No, because I got to do it's 94. Because I got to go back and update mine. Because if I do a 0.5 in one, I got to it's basically split. Oh, because that just balances it out. It just makes it nothing.
If you have 2.5s, yeah, it's just gonna balance out.
So yeah, I guess I'm 100% then at tight end.
Well, good for you. Clearly not my area. I'm not really built like a tight end though. So
I think it's all over.
Early winner in the clubhouse, right?
I can't
early winner in the clubhouse. Let's see how you can do with the offensive tackles. How'd you do there, bud?
Well, Paris Johnson's a win. I thought he's gonna be good. He's good, right? Same with Darnell Wright, I think. Brojo, I think's got to be a loss for the both of us.
Yeah, mainly because we just
he's
don't
still
know.
there. He's still starting. He's probably
but he might not even play again because the neck injury.
They're going to keep him still.
Well, that's my point, though. That's where he's.
I think it's got to. Man,
he's got to because he played.
Is that a 0.5 wrong? Is that a 0.5 wrong? Not a full wrong, but a 0.5.
Yeah. We'll do that for now. Because he played okay the first couple of years. He was part of their plan. Neck injury, you're done. You know, I mean, if that's the case, he doesn't go down as a bust if that's the case. Because again, we've talked about that. Like injury busts are different from busts. And if you are playing for a team and then all of a sudden you're done for your career, that's a different story.
Okay, I got Anton Harrison as a right for me because I had my guy on him. Dude,
yeah,
I had 4.
Did not like him as much as you did.
I had 4 tackles as my guys.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I did not think Harrison was going to be all that great, and he's had a solid run so far. Good for him.
Matt, what do you think?
Look, I'm putting Bergeron as right, even though he's not playing tackle.
So that's why I'm asking you, because I had him as tackle 6 in a note saying that he'll be infinitely better on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So is that right?
Yeah, I would count that as a right because I've got him down as right because I thought he was a right for me, right? Even though he didn't play the position, he's a starter in the NFL.
Right then.
Yeah.
Okay. Cody Mock, I have as a right.
Yeah, same.
The next 2 on this, the way we have it, I have Tyler Steen and Wanya Morris. I had them both as neutral. I didn't feel strongly one way or the other.
I actually have both of them down as wins because I thought Wanya Morris was not going to be good, and he hasn't been. And I thought Tyler Steen was going to contribute, and he has. So yeah, I'll be willing to negotiate a bit on Tyler Steen. Wanya Morris, I know that I did not feel great about him. I thought it was hilarious when Kansas City took him.
I was neutral on both. I didn't care. Like, it is what it is. So I'm good with it. Leave him. Blake Freeland is 100% a loss for me. He was my guy.
Yeah, I've got him down as a neutral for me. I know you really liked him, and I kind of felt like he was going to be.
I love the athleticism.
He had potential.
It's like if they can teach him technique. I still stand by this. Maybe, just maybe, they didn't have a good O-line coaching room. I don't know. Or maybe they didn't give him enough time or enough
he got
attention.
Caught.
I thought he could be developed into a starting tackle.
Well, he got caught kind of in between things, and that's kind of what we talk about. You got to remember for everybody, in the NFL, it is so dependent upon situation, upon opportunity, just where things, pan out. So the fact that he was kind of almost in line to start, and then Jalen Travis swoops in because they draft him, it is what it is. He's still a swing tackle. I think he's going to have a long career as a backup swing tackle kind of guy in the NFL, but that's not what you thought he would be. So that's the bummer.
No, I thought he would develop for a year or two and then start. That's not the case.
Sure.
So I didn't think Jones was going to be good at all.
Neither of us did.
And he was good, you think?
No, he never was. We're both good on that. Dewan Jones? No.
I have him as a win for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We both do. Let me give you a little breakdown. I'm going to use the PFF on this. Dewan Jones had a 64 as a rookie, as a mostly right tackle starter. Had a 46 in the second year. Mostly a split between right and left tackle. And left tackle, this past year, he only played 3 games, so he had a 32. He's trending in the wrong direction.
So I had him as a right for me. Now, the next
Dewan Jones, I think, has potential to... no, he could be in that boom or bust category, but they drafted Fano to take his job. So, I'm not even going to give him that love. Sorry, bud.
The next 3 I have is neutral category, like Carter Warren, Colby Sorsdale, and Asim Richards.
Right. Same.
I just think I had no thoughts on any of them until the Lions took Sorsdale.
And then you're trying to get, up for it.
Yeah, and it is what it is.
Right. See, so I didn't have Warren McClendon. I didn't have him either way. I
have him in the win column.
Alrighty then.
Like he's one of the guys that I had. I mean, I only had him at tackle 11.
Right. Yeah. You did. And coming into this year,
as
this
one of those
year,
I like the potential development of this guy. So
and I
put
sort
him
of
as a
shrugged.
win.
Yeah, I sort of shrugged. Well, again, coming into this year, he would have probably been an L, but he absolutely lit it up this past year.
Totally agree.
Had a great season this past year. So
what was that movie? Just when I thought Dumb and Dumber. How does that phrase go? You totally redeemed yourself.
Right. Or
you
that way too.
Redeemed
totally
yourself.
redeemed yourself. Exactly. Yeah. Or you can go Godfather with it. Just when I was out, you pulled me back in.
Oh, there you
Warren
go.
McClendon pulled you back in.
Hey, I have Jalen Duncan as a win for me because I had a
No, he's a win for both of us.
Am I wrong? Okay.
No, he's a win for both of us.
I just want to make sure I wasn't being completely irrational, but I have him as and yeah. And some of these guys I probably should have flipped to interior, but it is what it is.
Well, right. That's okay.
And then the rest of it, the last 4, I'm all neutral on. But to be honest with you,
Same.
I don't even remember who Mala Asala. Yeah. And then the rest. Jake Witt, Ryan Haynes, go blue, Spencer Anderson.
Yep.
I didn't feel strongly about any of those guys.
All 4 of those guys are in there for me.
So, all things considered, this probably would have been the one that I thought I did the best on, and then apparently it's tight ends.
Yeah,
but yeah,
this is the one I did the best on.
What'd you have?
I ended up at an 84.
Ha! The exact same.
Hey, nice job. Good work.
I had 8 right, 9 neutral, 1.5 wrong.
Same. Yep. Good work on both of us. So at least we got one position we feel like for 1 year we were good at. I mean, you were
So
good
what
at
you're
tight
saying
ends,
is
too.
I don't get the clean sweep. I don't beat you across the board. 'cause
No,
you
there's a
managed to
tie
me.
on there. There's a tie on there because you're probably going to win at interior O line too. Let's wrap things up
Oh, we'll see.
with the big boys on the inside. You managed to convince me that Peter Skoronsky wasn't going to be a tackle, so we both get a win for him as a guard.
Yep. I need to stop convincing you so that I can destroy you in the rest of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's a win. Steve Avila's a win.
Yep.
Joe Tittman, Schmitz, those are all wins, right?
All 4 of those are wins. And then we
then
come to
there's the
Osiris
massive,
Torrance.
and I mean
Oh, my
massive
goodness.
miss by both of us.
Look, he's
We
still
were
starting.
So, dude, didn't I have let me flip. I'm still on
I don't know
tackles.
if you had a first round grade for him, but you really liked
I think
him.
I might have.
He is still technically starting. That's the one thing I can say for him. And Osiris Torrance is a guy we expected to be a plug-and-play solid, if not, I'm not talking all-pro, but a solid starter who's going to be an anchor on that line. He has yet to get above average on his BFF grade.
So here's how I did this board in 2023. I ranked players 1 through 16. Then the next 16 players, I just all gave a 32.
Sure.
So he's in the next 16. Where I don't know. He's just in there. But I'm here to tell you,
I had him higher.
He was my number 2 interior. Well, not necessarily. He was my number 2 guard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't because I separated guard and center. So, but either way,
Sure.
you get it. He's a top. I had a first round. Well, no, hold on. I didn't have a first round grade on him because I'm very stingy with those.
Right,
but I
you thought
had
he
him
could
as
go
a
in the first
player
round.
who should go in the first round.
Sure.
So massive miss.
We'll call
That's
that
where
one
you
an
could
oops.
put that. You could put a 3.5 in the wrong on that one, and I
All right.
couldn't fight you on it.
Yeah, that would be good.
So here, this might sound lame, Brad. Why'd I call you Brad?
Well, I mean, Brad's lame at times. It's okay.
It's probably because I'm checked in the box for Anthony Bradford. Maybe I was like reading that and talking. I don't know. And the only reason being is all the how many are left that were drafted in this? 19. I only have a right. I have one right and one wrong to the rest. The rest are all
that's fun.
neutrals.
I've got 3 right
you're
and
gonna
4
have to
wrong.
you're gonna have to tell me if you remember anything different that my board's not telling me. Juice, the next 4: Juice Scruggs, Ricky Stromberg, Nick Saldiveri, and Jake Andrews. I didn't have any strong notes on any of those guys.
Right. So I had 3 of those 4 as neutral. I gave myself a win for Saldiveri because I really didn't think he was going to mount anything, and he has not. Like in the sense of feeling strongly about him not mounting anything. And then I gave myself a win for the next 2 with Anthony Bradford and Chandler Zavala. Zavala might be pushing it for a win. I don't know.
Hold the phone. I gave myself a win for Bradford, but Zavala I thought I had to put as a wrong. Is he back to playing? Like, is he projected to even start? I know he got off to a short, good start and then wrecked his neck.
Right. You know what? We're going to look into that one because I honestly
put him
don't
in the
know.
right. I have him as a wrong.
Well, I guess he's technically backing up right now, isn't he? Yeah, I guess he's going to have to go in the wrong column, isn't he?
That's where I had him.
No, you're
And
right.
I liked
you're
him a
right.
lot. He was number 5 for
You liked him more than I did.
guards. Yes.
You liked the deal more than I did too. All right, so the next, so City So, dude, I'm allowing myself a loss for City So. I really thought he was going to be a fun, like depth guy who'd come in and do something, and he still is on a roster. So I will say, maybe I'll give myself a 0.5 for this because he is still in the league, right? He is still contributing, but we'll see if he gets a contract after this year.
I had City So at 11 at guard.
Right. I'm telling you, man, he had one brief shining moment. Didn't work out for him.
Yeah.
Brandon
all
Daniels,
the rest of mine
John
are
Gaines.
neutral.
Well, I'll run through them. So Daniels, Gaines, Mafi, all those guys were neutral. I'm giving myself a loss on Olu. I really thought he was going to contribute at a solid level, and he just hasn't.
I did not have. Yeah,
Sad.
I didn't have him.
Jordan McFadden, Luke Whippler, neutral on both of those guys. I thought Jarrett Patterson was going to be good, and he is struggling to get playing time on a bad offensive line in Houston.
Based on my board, he just got the UDFA grade. I only ranked 15 guards, and he's not in the top 15. So
now, like I said, we'll have some fun with this when we get in the future years when I've actually got my board to pull from. I'm just going off what I remember. Javon Gwynn, Cooper Hodges, both those are neutral. Andrew Voorhees, I thought this was a great 7th round flyer, and what he's proved is he was in the 7th round for a reason.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I had Andrew Voorhees as my 6th guard.
Mm-hmm.
But the 5 above him, I had all 5 as my guys, which 2 of them were big misses, and Torrance and Zavala. So
Sure.
I'm not patting myself on the back, but I was right about Skronsky, Avila, and Mock.
There you
But
go.
Voorhees, I just have the asterisk because of the injuries.
Right, yeah. But again, he still played.
That's why I left.
But
But
he's
I'm just
played
saying, I
and
left
been
him as
moved on
neutral
from.
because I don't think I would have counted him as a win, even if he did well. Because he's a guy that I like the potential of, but I was like, I have no faith in his health, so I didn't feel strongly about it.
Well, right, and that's and again, some of that comes down to just hoping to almost ignore it, right? So Voorhees, to his credit, played 18 games last year, which is great for him, right? He just didn't play well in pretty much any of those games. And so the fact that he stayed healthy is a win for him as a player, but the fact that they basically drafted Vega to start ahead of him shows you what they think of him right now.
Vega's totally different.
But again, he also right now at this point is behind John Simpson, who isn't exactly lighting the world on fire either, in my opinion, when it comes to where offensive line guys get slated in. So Voorhees still, he's not out, obviously, because he's got, a rookie contract, at least for one more year, so you're going to keep a guy on the roster. He'll be a depth piece for them. But the fact that he hasn't been able to beat out John Simpson, who hasn't exactly been amazing. John Simpson had maybe one good year so far, and you can't beat him out. He has to go on a loss for me. And then Broker and Forsyth, both average. Point is, I got a 52 for the men on the inside.
I got a 71.
So here's your first reminder, anyone who listens to this show, maybe take JP's advice, not mine.
I don't know. We'll see. This is only 1 year sample size.
And one half of 1 year. Because next episode,
so it could completely turn around. You could totally redeem yourself.
Right,
man.
exactly.
Who knows?
We're gonna see. We're gonna see how much I
real
flame
quick,
out.
To put a bow on this, I settled in higher than a 3.75. I went with a 4 even.
Ooh, all right. What'd the world say?
I forgot I was going to do that. I
love when that happens.
checked into it, but I forgot to check to see what the world said.
Oh, come on, man.
What did the world say? How do I go back and see that? I got to research.
You should just be able to, check the beer. Yeah. And again, for anybody who
2.1 thousand people checked into this. I have no friends that have checked into this.
Awkward.
Wow. But everyone else, the average is a 4.22. So when we're guessing a 4.25, I gave it a 4. The only thing I'll say to wrap this up, I don't know if it's because it's getting warmer or if it's just maybe I didn't shake it up or roll it enough.
Ooh,
but the later I get into this, the more the spice comes through.
That would make sense.
It's less spice up front, and now that I'm getting to
not
up front,
no,
that's on the
spice
palate.
or heat.
Spice, no heat.
Okay. Because that's always interesting when it comes to those pepper beers.
Yeah.
Is there actually
my
any
tongue
heat in there
doesn't feel hot at all as soon as I swallow it. I can just feel it in the back of the throat, like a little tingle in the spice and stuff. So
gotcha. All right. Well,
I'd drink the hell out of this one again.
Well, I'm gonna have to look for that one and have one to give you and my take on the whole thing. We got 4 guys so far that are going on our boom and bust list. We'll do that at the end of the next show, though. We've got the defense coming up next time. We will see whether or not the man who started this whole thing, Kalijah Cansey, is worthy of inclusion on which side of this list with draft.
I got to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Prediction: best and worst position for you on the next one.
For me?
Obviously, the inspiration for this show was me thinking I suck at D-line, so I'm going to say that's going to be my worst. I'm going to say my best. Ooh, do I say linebacker or do I say safety? Because they're the two I always trend towards.
Yeah, I'm going to say
Oh, man, I feel like I could say safety and be cheating because outside of Brian Branch and Sidney Brown, I don't think I cared for a lot of the safety, so it's probably a lot of neutral. I won't cheat. I'll say linebacker would be my best, and that my worst will be D-line.
I have no idea. I'm going to say, I want to say edge rush would be my best, but I already know I had a couple misses in there, so yikes. Let's say corner will be my best, and D-line will be my worst, too. I don't know. Maybe we go
that's a good call. That's a good call for the best because this was we crushed the up top. I know.
We did. Yeah.
With Gonzo and Spoon. Yeah. Oh man.
I'll take the credit for that one. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
We'll see you next time. We'll